Channel 2S is brought to you by New Type HQ. Get your kits and supplies at the link in the description below. Bandai's non-graded models have always had a bit of a tough time at retail. After all, once high grade and master grade were introduced, there kind of became a question of why get a 1/100 no-grade kit when you could just spend a little bit more and get a much better master grade model. So around the early 2010s, Bandai stopped focusing on the 1/100 no-grade kits in favor of the master grade line and pretty much had dropped them entirely by the mid-2010s. Then in 2014, we saw the launch of Reborn 100. This was a rebirth of the 1/100 no-grade kits with a proper grade now to avoid the implications of no grade implying a lower quality, and an all-new mission to give them purpose. The Reborn 100 line's goal was to release kits that could not be made as master grades, either because they were too big, too expensive to develop, or Bandai just thought there wouldn't be enough demand for them to justify the research and development costs of a full master grade model. The line was started with the massive Nightingale, a very popular suit from Char's counterattack Beltorchica's Children, and it ended up being a pretty successful kit. The line continued on for a few years, and for a while, at least 2 or 3 times a year, we would get a new Re 100 model of a mobile suit that we probably would have never gotten otherwise. It's because of this line that we have kits like the Gundam Mark III, the Gerbera Gundam, and 2 of my absolute favorite Gunpla of all time, the Bawu and Afreet Custom Re 100s. Seriously, I love those kits. Recently, however, I've noticed, and probably you have as well, that the Re 100 line has nearly disappeared. We do get infrequent premium Bandai releases from time to time, but the last new mold Re 100 kit we got was the Shokyu in the middle of last year, and that was a premium Bandai exclusive. When the whole purpose of your line is to make accessible kits of mobile suits that were not previously available, it kind of undermines your point a little bit when you're making a brand new kit P Bandai. In addition to us not seeing any new models, there has been a disturbing trend of the old kits not getting reprinted. It has been a very long time since the Re 100 kits have been reprinted at retail, and the only new releases of them we've seen have been either through the premium Bandai webshop or Gundam-based Tokyo, leading me to believe that Bandai really wants to sweep this line under the rug and continue on with other things, which of course begs to question, why? What happened to make Bandai no longer want to continue the Re 100 line? Well, while it is easy to say that the Re 100 line just wasn't profitable enough for Bandai to continue it, I'm not entirely sure that the Re 100 line was stopped because it was a failure. I think it was stopped because it was too successful. In the last few years, we have seen an uptick in brand new master grade models of incredibly obscure Gundams we could have never dreamed of getting master grades of before. A couple years ago, we got the master grade F90, and this year, in fact, this month, as I'm recording this, we got the brand new Gundam Mark V master grade. 2 kits that never in a million years any of us could have ever imagined as master grades, and 2 kits that would have fit in perfectly with the Reborn 100 line. With the uptick in new master grades of obscure Gundams and the end of the Re 100 line, I think it's entirely possible that the Re 100 line was a successful experiment. Bandai put out more obscure Gundams as 1/100 scale models, and they learned that Gundam fans love obscure suits. We love them so much that we're even willing to pay a premium Bandai premium markup on a master grade model, making the cost of development well worth it for Bandai. And with the premium Bandai webshop opening in the US and hopefully other countries in the future, they're becoming more and more accessible for people around the world. With this in mind, it does start to make a little bit more sense why the Re 100 line was abandoned. However, there is another aspect to consider as well. Later this year, we are going to be getting a 1/100 scale non-graded kit of the Calamity Gundam. That's right. This is effectively, for all intents and purposes, a Re 100 Calamity Gundam. However, Bandai is not calling it a Re 100 kit. This is instead being marked as 1/100 full mechanics, just like the second half of the 1/100 kits from Iron-Blooded Orphans. Now, this is an incredibly bizarre choice that I have heard some people justify by saying that the Re 100 line was always only going to be Universal Century suits. And this is a very interesting point to make because, yes, all the Re 100 kits that were released were in fact Universal Century suits, a fact that I didn't believe for myself until I actually went back and looked at the list. However, I'm not entirely sure that Re 100 was always meant to be only Universal Century suits. When we look at that famous, or in some ways I suppose infamous, now planning list that showed the Afreet Custom off along with a bunch of other concept kits that never ended up being released, we saw a lot of kits that were not part of the Universal Century. The Gaia Gundam, the Reborn's Gundam, and the Leo were all present in that list, and funnily enough, we actually did end up getting quite a lot of the mobile suits in that list as new kits anyways, either as master grade or high grade kits. Back on topic though, I kind of suspect that the exclusive presence of Universal Century kits in the Re 100 line is a coincidence and not actually something that Bandai intentionally planned out. However, if we take that angle, that means that of course we have no real answer for why the Calamity Gundam is not a Re 100 kit. Does it really make sense for Bandai to completely abandon the established Re100 branding to use the much more generic 1/100 full mechanics? Or perhaps are they abandoning the Reborn 100 name because they want to take away the original focus on obscure kits and make more popular mobile suits in the line again? After all, the Calamity Gundam isn't exactly what I would call an obscure mobile suit. Alongside the 1/100 Calamity, we did also see the announcement of a 1/100 scale Freedom Gundam with a very similar design to the Master Grade 2.0 made for the Chinese market. So maybe this is a sign that Bandai is experimenting with moving the no-grade 1/100 form factor back towards a budget alternative to Master Grades and away from being a companion series. At this point in time, I can't really say for sure. We'll have to see where the line goes in the future and hope that Bandai doesn't completely abandon reprinting the Re100 models that already exist, as they are some of the coolest kits we've gotten in the last 10 years. Personally, I think the Re100 line is dead. However, if we get an announcement of a new Re100 kit in the next few months, I will be so happy to have been proven wrong. So what do you guys think happened to the Re100 line? What do you think Bandai is doing with the 1/100 scale in the future? And do you think there's a chance we'll see it come back? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more Gundam and Gunpla content. And as always, I'm your host Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.